See, what is their international U.S. national strategy is important. But for us in Pakistan, what is more important is what is not there. This 48-page document talks about China, which is seen as America's number one enemy, number one global enemy, a major threat to U.S. global interest. Then Iran is mentioned there as a small but troublesome country. India is mentioned in the strategy paper as a major U.S. ally, particularly in U.S. efforts to counter China's growing influence. And Afghanistan is also mentioned as a country that needs to be watched. But a country that has borders with India, with China, with Iran, and with Afghanistan is Pakistan. And Pakistan does not get even a single mention in this paper. And there are two major reasons for that. Number one, the Americans very recently, like last year, withdrew from Afghanistan. They fought there for almost 20 years. And after that, they decided that there's nothing to gain from this war, and they withdrew their troops. And while withdrawing, they also blamed Pakistan for not doing enough to help America defeat the Taliban. They think if Pakistan had done more, it could have defeated the Taliban. And the other reason is that Pakistan is also tired of being seen in Afghanistan's perspective, or in India's perspective, or in China's perspective. Now, the Pakistanis for the last several years have been saying that Pakistan has importance of its own. It is a key country in a very sensitive region, that it has borders with some very sensitive countries like India, like China, like Iran and Afghanistan. That two of these countries, China and India, have nuclear weapons. Pakistan also has nuclear weapons, and that it has a large population, 220 million people. It has a large diaspora that is spread across the globe, and therefore Pakistan should be treated on its own rather than being bracketed with Afghanistan or India. And therefore, the new strategy, by not mentioning Pakistan in this context, partly actually meets Pakistan demands for being treated on its own rather than being seen as a country that can be useful against China, or a country that can be useful against Afghanistan or Iran. But having said that, Pakistan definitely would have liked to be there in the strategy paper, mentioned as an old U.S. ally, which has done so much to protect U.S. interest in that region. But in Washington, there is a feeling in Washington that for the last several years, Pakistanis also have been trying to move away from this. I mean, they want a relationship that is based on trade. They want to cooperate with America when it suits Pakistan's national interest. When it does not, then Pakistanis would like to be, to be kept aside. Like on the issue of Ukraine. I mean, 2 days ago there was a voting in the UN General Assembly, and Pakistan, like India, decided not to vote. We abstained because we felt that we want to balance our relationship. While having a close relationship with America, we also see Russia as an important country in the region, and unlike in the past, we do not want to do things that would annoy Russia. Similarly, Pakistan sees China as its closest ally, and there is a realization in Washington that that Pakistan is not going to give up its relationship with China, even no matter how much pressure is brought upon Islamabad to do so, and that Pakistan will also not see India from Washington's perspective. We see India as a useful ally against China. Pakistan will continue to see India as a major security threat, and therefore, I think in making strategies and policies, Washington will also be very, very careful in how to define Pakistan. I think instead of mentioning it in a strategy paper, they would like to deal with Pakistan as a separate entity and as a country that should be dealt with or being bracketed with other countries. And I think this is what Islamabad also wants.